Welcome back to Dallas, Texas, inside the American Airlines Center. It's the Big Three ball out here in the Big D. And we've got ourselves a really big game here as Power takes on the Killer3s. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside the coach Avery Johnson, and this is a good one here. You got a matchup of two teams that are really physical. Yeah, and there's two teams that are well coached, and that's what I love about the Big Three. It's not just the players on the court, but it's the X's and O's and the chess matches between both coaches, and we got two phenomenal coaches in this matchup. Now, when you talk about power, usually their captain is the guy who powers that team, and that's Cuttino Mobley. But, you know, he pulled his groin last week, and even though he worked out today and said he's getting better, he's going to sit this one out. So yeah, that's a big blow. That's a huge blow for Power. Mobley in the first week, I mean, he was on fire. You know, 6 or 7 three-point shots, but now he's dressed like GQ today. Yeah, listen, he's got swag to the nines. Now, here's the key, though. They get a big boost in Dusan Balut. He is phenomenal. This guy is coming off the Olympics, won the bronze medal on the 3-on-3 in the Olympics. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he makes the transition to the Big Three here in the Ice Cube League Big Three, and playing against some former NBA players that have had a lot of success playing in the NBA and overseas. But we're excited to see what he can do. He's considered one of the best 3-on-3 players in the world. Of course, coming off that bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics. Now they're taking on the Killer3s and their head coach. He's got a book coming out this fall called The Last Enforcer. It's none other than Charles Oakley. He's with John Sally.
Charles, I hear you got a book coming out and you're going to personally autograph it to me?
Yes, I'll give you a copy. John Sally from Charles Oakley, The Last Enforcer. Yes, you will get a book.
Okay, so what are we going to do booking about you being 1 and 2? What are we going to do today?
We're trying to be 2 and 2, but we just got to finish what we started last week. We was down, we made a big run, we won the game, so we still have to be motivated to come out today and just come out and play smart and play, you know, execute our offense.
All right, good luck, Coach.
All right.
Charles Oakley, the Killer3s got their victory last week, and there's the head coach, the Hall of Famer, Dallas's own Nancy Lieberman. Of course, she was Coach of the Year in the Big Three in 2018, led Power to the championship that same year. And they believe they've got a team here that can do it again and knock the triplets off and win it all. Charles Oakley said, listen, the first week, guys, had a lot of new guys to the team, had to get used to one another. Second week, he felt like they were starting to get their conditioning. And last week, everything came together. And he says he's expecting big things out of the Killer3s here against Power. And Cuss, that's you're accurate with that statement. Like all of your statements, by the way. Thank you, my Conditioning brother. Is a key. Yeah. It's a factor. You know, we didn't play last year with the Big Three. Now we're back, better than ever. And the guys getting in game shape. You can ride the bike, Stairmaster, shoot around, play one-on-one, but to get in 3-on-3 game shape is a different story. Blue to Royce White, and he dunks it home. Hey, Royce White was talking to Charles Oakley last night, this morning. I mean, the trash talk between them two has been non-stop. Here's Franklin Sessions, also known as Frank Nitty. He had the dunk of the year so far last week. And that's a dunk that, if it was in the dunk contest, if the highest score was 10, he would get a 15. Shot clock violation. 2-0 our score. Again, first team to 25, we go to the half. Here's Royce White again. And just powers his way to the hoop. Got his own board. Joe Alexander with the left hand. That one rolls off.
Joe is really crafty. Second on the team, 12 points a game.
Dante Green. Malute had a hand on it. But Dante Green powers it in. We're tied up at 2.
Love when guys just, hey, put your head down, get to the basket, and continue to do it until you get stopped.
Malute to Royce. Back to Malute for 3. That's short. White has it knocked away. Gathers. He'll work on Green on the block. Too strong. Powell shot is blocked.
And smart move by Powell since the ball didn't hit the basket. In the first week, it seemed like some of the guys were trying to take this ball back behind the three-point line just to get readjusted to the rules. No, you can go right back up with the ball when it doesn't hit the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. When it doesn't hit that rim, you put it right back up. Alexander. His shot comes off. Dante Green.
In a situation like Green's three-point shot in the left corner, you want your leading scorer to be aggressive, but sometimes when that window is completely closed, you can't see the basket, it's a super contested shot, that's when you got to put it on the floor, especially if you have a live dribble.
Here's Royce White. Yeah, powers his way in. Left it short. Malute had it knocked away, and shot clock violation.
Hey, we need to send a memo, a text message, or some sort of message to Royce White. Josh Powell, I've coached him. He's got old man strength.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
So you can't just overpower him all the time.
And he's got 2 championships.
Yes.
Played on those Lakers teams.
The only guy that may be stronger than Josh Powell in this arena tonight or in this game is Charles Oakley.
You're right. Amen to that. 4-2 our score. Here's Green. He'll pull off some distance. Here's Powell. And they'll call that one on Joe Alexander.
Now, unlike our last game, our coaches, George Gervin, Rick Barry, they were kind of chilled, sitting down a little bit, which is that's their style. But Charles Oakley and Nancy Lieberman, they're up. They're basically on the floor like they want to turn this 3-on-3 into a 4-on-4.
You're right. White with the left hand. Good drive. 4-point lead now for Power.
And Cuttino Mobley's the assistant coach.
Yeah, right. Here's Dante Green. Fades. Missed everything.
Yeah, here Royce White, nice right to left crossover, left-handed finish. It's always impressive when guys can make layups with their left or right hand, on balance, off balance.
What do you think about Royce White?
Oh, I like his intensity. Yeah. He's the type of guy, though, if you're in the alley and you're fighting, you want him on your side.
Is he the guy who's still talented to be in the league as well?
Yeah, and with a lot of our guys here in the Big Three, it doesn't necessarily have to be in a starting role, of course, but you can be a contributor. You know, you could be a 9th or 10th man.
Here's Dusan Blue. Knocks down that 3. He's got 5. It's a 9-2 lead for Power. Dante Green, left it short. Royce White, the follow is good.
And especially a guy like Royce White, he's kind of that new 4-man or undersized 5-man that can get up and down the floor, play around the basket.
As he flexes. And the lead is 9 for Power. Hey, I tell you what, once they get Cuttino Mobley back healthy too, hey, Power's going to give The triplets, a good run for that money when you talk about top team in this league.
And this actually may be good for Coutinho in a way, in a weird way, because, you know, he averaged 24 points over the first 2 weeks, but then in the last 2 weeks, last week he had 10 points, so this rest may be good.
Hey, make sure you download the exclusive Big 3 app in that app store and Google Play Store as well. You get exclusive content, highlights, stats, merch. You can download the Big 3 app and do it today. Speaking of that, you know, Nancy Lieberman, you want to talk about how she is so buttoned up as a coach. She created her own app, a power app, and it has all the plays for different players and things of that nature. So she, man, that woman is meticulous when it comes to coaching.
Yeah, she's drawing up plays on her iPad. She's really into the technology.
Here's White now, going one-on-one with Powell. Balut had it, kicks it out to Joe. You got to shoot it. He held it too long.
I want to see Balut get on track to maybe be aggressive to score a little bit more. A lot of times when you get introduced to a league the first time, you want to play unselfish, you want everybody to like you, but hey, you're a 3-on-3 king.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
a master at the 3-on-3.
Absolutely. Here's White. Stolen. Watson lays it in.
And give White credit. He told Balut, hey, that's my fault. I'll get it right the next time.
Balut loses it to Josh Powell. And now all of a sudden the Killer3s on a nice little run here.
And see, a lot of times, especially when you make that transition to the Big 3, things are, for Balut especially, players, quicker hands, speed, longer, athletic guys. You see how Watson just basically poked it from him.
Another turnover. 5 now. Watson working on White. Crosses him over. Uses the left hand. Too strong. Powell the follow. Yes! So now that lead, which was like 7-9, all of a sudden it's just down to 3. Inside to go to Darnell Jackson. He's got the mismatch.
And sometimes your missed shot can be a good shot. Your bad luck can be good luck. In that situation, Watson misses on the drive, but Powell uses his strength against a smaller, guard to gain on him and get the offensive rebound and score.
Five-point lead. We get our first break in the action for Power at 2-1. Let's take a look here at the roster breakdown, which is presented by PNC Bank. So let's talk about, Avery, your PNC Overdraft Protection player to watch.
Yeah, my PNC Overdraft Protection player to watch is Royce White, the co-captain for the Power. And he is exhibiting a lot of power tonight. Picking and rolling, using really excellent footwork, driving to the basket, using his opposite hand to score around the basket when they're playing him to shoot it with his right hand and he's shooting it with his left hand.
And of course for the Killer3s, their roster breakdown brought to you by PNC Bank as well. Carlos Oakley, the head coach. Dante Green is generally their leading scorer, but Franklin Sessions, this is the kid who can inject some life into this roster. He's bouncy, had a phenomenal dunk last week, won 3 straight MVPs in the Drew League. And there he is, Franklin Sessions now, known as Frank Nitty.
You know what he was known for in the Drew League? The game.
He's got it. And they're down 5.
You know, I'm always a little biased to the undersized guys.
I know you are. I know you
I
are.
always wanted to be taller than 5'11".
Here's the great thing. The thing that I always loved about you was undersized, and everyone knew you were going left and still couldn't stop you. That's what killed me.
But I could never dunk like Franklin Sessions.
Let me tell you something. That dunk he had over Jason Maxiell last week was something. Look at that.
Do you call this a poster?
Yeah, absolutely.
Posterize him?
Right there. You get to know here Franklin Sessions. Again, he was Damian Lillard's teammates in college. He played, not only overseas, he played in that G League, but a 3-time Drew League MVP, known as Frank Nitty.
And speaking of Damian Lillard, our national team went to work this morning.
They did.
And now they go into single round elimination. So got a chance to win the gold if Durant and Lillard and Tatum play the way they played this morning. Good luck to our national team. Go USA.
Here's Mo Charlo.
Oh my God!
Count it. And one.
One time.
It's always interesting, when a guy comes off the bench, and he's cold, probably want to, unless he's a prolific three-point shooter, want to space him a little bit more and play him for the drive.
3-point play, good. Lead is now just 2. First team to 25, we go to the half. Here's Blue. Working on Watson.
See, now, Power doesn't have as much space on the floor behind the three-point line, so the Killer3s can really shrink their defense, but they can't give up any offensive rebounds, because without Coutinho Mobley, that's basically their entire three-point shooting. That's not in uniform today.
A foul on Blue.
You got shots inside. On the floor.
Coutinho Mobley, the captain, telling Power no more fouls.
That's not a foul right there, but that's, come on.
I wonder why do players and coaches complain about fouls and officiating? I never really did that.
You funny, man. That's funny. You know, Jamal, Sunday, make sure you go to church after saying that. Are we in the Bible Belt too?
And every referee that's ever officiated
Shaking their hands, man, this dude. C.J. Watson now. Oh, nice move by C.J. Watson.
CJ struggled, the first week. Here's a guy that shot over 60% from behind the three-point line in our previous season with the Big Three, and he's looking to be more aggressive.
He had to give them the shooting. They need CJ for that. Space that floor. Here's Jackson now working on the post against Charlo.
There's no doubt about that one. That is a foul.
Here's Darnell Jackson shooting 1 for 2. Missed it. Grabs his own board, though.
Darnell Jackson is an NCAA champion back in 2008 with Kansas.
Good up and under by Royce White.
Royce White just seems like he has a certain focus where everything that he's thinking about right now, is all about helping his team win. But he still loves to talk to the crowd sometimes.
Sure does. C.J. Watson knocks it down. Here's that shooting the Killer3s need. Lead is 2. First team to 25, we go to the half. White again, powers his way, kisses it off the glass.
Hey, it's easy.
He said it's too easy. You got to get your body in front of White and maybe try to take a charge.
CJ high off the glass. White clears it.
He's open for three. He missed Baloo.
Baloo cuts. Banks it off the glass.
Royce White made up for it because I think Katino Mobley and Nancy Lieberman, when he missed Baloo for the wide open three, they were ready to run on the court and discipline him.
C.J. Watson is getting warm. 4-point lead for Power.
Yeah, this is a game, unless something changes, maybe C.J. Watson, this is a game that's going to be played for the most part inside the three-point line.
Jackson knocks down the three. Power a point away from the half.
But the Killer Threes, that's a situation they'll allow Jackson to take that shot 10 more times. Trust me.
Charlo to Watson. He fades. His bucket could send it to the half. Here's White. He'll step back, shoot the three. Missed it. Jackson flies in for the offensive board. Fade away. No good. Tipped in by Charlo.
Smart. C.J. Watson kept that ball alive. Charlo came in and finished it up. Make sure with this game, especially, that you box out.
Here's Baloo. To Jackson for three. Rebound Watson. He pulled. Got it from three. Put your hands together for C.J. Watson.
And C.J.'s one of those guys. He loves to operate going left. Didn't have much real estate here in the left corner. I think his right foot was on the line.
White. This bucket would send it to the half. Spins. Missed it. Charlo clears it. Hey, you can shoot a 4, and we go to the half. Here's Charlo to Watson. He's got the hot hand. 2, he's got to put it up. He didn't get it off in time.
Yeah, he didn't create enough separation against the bigger defender in Jackson. And a lot of times when you're trying to drive baseline, you bring that baseline, that's like another defender.
Here's Jackson. Joe Alexander. Byers. Missed the 3. Dante Green. Dunks it home. 1-point lead for Power.
Yeah, explosive move by Green. Spin, could have been an offensive foul.
Next bucket, we go to the half. Here's Alexander. Put his shoulder into Charlo and banks it home.
So guess what, Cuz? We're not calling offensive fouls today. They better been back-to-back offensive fouls.
Better bring your game, not your name here in the Big 3, because it's physical. And it's Power. 3-point lead over the Killer 3s. We're in the Big D. It's the half. We're at the half here in Dallas as Power. 3-point lead over the Killer 3s. Hey, make sure you get your official Big 3 merch at the store, big3.com, for league team apparel, including jerseys, hats, jackets. You can get it all at the store at big3.com. Brian Custer alongside the coach, Avery Johnson. Man, that first half physical, man. Physical between these two teams.
Very physical first half. Teams are really beating each other up, especially on the offensive glass. So rebounding is going to be critical to not give up second shots, but try to get some second chance points, because both of these teams are not really good three-point shooting teams. So you got to really clean up some of those 50-50 balls.
Well, for Power in the first half, it was about Royce White. That was a guy who not only used that brute strength to get buckets inside the paint.
Yeah, he impacted the game with his drives and also using both hands around the basket. He's very intense. And then C.J. Watson, he incorporated his post-up game. We know he's an excellent three-point shooter and pick-and-roll player.
Well, I'll tell you what, both of these guys could use a great point guard. And our John Sally is with one of the GOATs. He's also the head coach of the Mavericks. Jason Kidd with John Sally.
Jason, we had Jimmy here, and Jimmy didn't want to show up because he said you wouldn't hire him as the assistant coach.
I would always hire Jimmy. Jimmy's as good as they come.
All right, so you're watching this 3-on-3. You look at any of these guys and thinking, I might be able to use one of these veterans?
You look at Joe Johnson, he still can play at a very high level. You look at Bibb and these guys who are out here, I mean, they still got that fire. So, you know, maybe we can look at them since we're in Dallas, we get a free look.
Well, Avery and I are above 55. We got fire, but it's only to start a barbecue.
That's still a nice barbecue.
It's a nice barbecue. Thanks, Coach. Good luck. All right, see you, man.
I think that was Coach's way of saying not interested.
Yeah. Oh, man. I can still get left.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Jason Kidd, head coach of the Mavericks. Here watching the big three. You see him sitting right next to Ice Cube. As we start the second half, here's Frank Nitti. Good hit. Shot foul blocked by Royce White, and he missed the bunny.
This pass was like a J. Kidd short pass.
Yeah, right.
He was one of the best in the business when he got downhill and make that short pass to big guys.
Here's White again. And draws the foul.
Now, just like we talked about in game one, you know, it's a three-point game here, but whether it's a three-point game, a 13-point game, 15, no lead is safe in the big three.
You're right.
Until somebody gets to 50 points.
Got to win by 2. It's coming off. Here's Powell with it. Green to Powell on the baseline. Yes. Lead is 1. This one has been nip and tuck between these two.
And even though Power has a 1-point lead, it just seems like the Killer 3s, when they really get it together and, you know, start playing at a high level consistently, that they can maybe overtake the Power in this game. We'll see.
Alexander missing. Here's Dante Green, chance to take that lead. Count it. Dante Green.
Because when you look at the depth, you got C.J. Watson sitting off on the bench. You know, he's got 10 points. He's ready to come back in at any time. So a lot of times it's depth, it's versatility with your roster, shooting.
Here's Alexander from the baseline, in and out. Power's gone cold here so far in the early point of the second half. Green. Alexander with 5 on the shot clock. Fades. Missed everything. And Frank Nitti has it blocked, but Dante Green lays it in.
But it just seems like from an energy standpoint, it's Royce White and the rest of his teammates, instead of all 3 of those guys having that same type of energy and tenacity that Royce White has.
And Frank Nitti with the block from behind. Four-point lead for the Killer 3s. Well, let's take a look at the Microsoft Player of the Week, and it was Joe Johnson. 80% of the votes went to Joe. Leads the big three in scoring. Led it in scoring last week with 26, including another game-winning shot.
There's been other weeks where maybe Joe, you could have given the MVP to another player, but Joe was so dominant last week. And just, making those clutch shots game after game.
Here's Dante Green. Listen, he hit the game winner in the Bring the Fire challenge and got the Killer3s their first victory of the season. He leads the team, averages 17 in the game.
We haven't had a Bring the Fire.
You're right, challenge thus far.
We need one
You're
this
right.
game.
Each one of these coaches get one a half.
I think the fans would really appreciate it. We had a good crowd today.
You're right. Again, they always come out and support here in Dallas. Had over 17,000 in the American Airlines Center when we were here 2 years ago. You saw Bullet. Gives it to White. Bullet will pull it from the baseline. Missed everything! And Green puts it in. Man, how about the way the Killer3s have flipped the script here in the second half?
Well, speaking of Ice Cube, we made a decision to come here, about 7 days ago?
Yeah.
And look at this crowd.
I know.
And Ice Cube has a way of always getting the stars to show up for the game.
You're right.
I guess when Ice Cube called, you take the call. You
Listen to that. You're right. You're right. Nitty with 5. With 3, you pull it. Powell, the offensive board. The follow rolls off. Here's White now, working on Green. Bullet, the drive, the kick to Jackson.
That's two really big bodies out there on the floor with White and Jackson. And nice pass by Bullet.
Green. And he's fouled by Royce White.
I think Royce White wants to challenge that one.
Well, I think Nancy Lieber's going to challenge. She's going to bring the fire. She wants to bring the fire. Each coach gets 1.5. So Dante Green, Royce White, as we do on Taco Bell, bring the fire. Dante Green's got 10 seconds to go one-on-one against Royce White. Royce White's got to stop him. If he stops him, they get the basketball. If he doesn't, Dante Green gets 3 points. And generally, advantage offense here. Oh, good crossover. Dante block. Oh, but did they call a foul? If they call a foul, that bucket. But Dante Green, and yes, they call the foul, so give the 3 points.
You got to be able to bring the fire. Dante Green, especially with those electrifying psychedelic shoes he has on.
Let's see, there's the swipe down. Yep.
Oh, boy, in that situation, if
Just
White would just go straight up, make him finish that play.
So 3 points goes to the Killer3s.
I just love to bring the fire.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so happy we incorporated that into the season.
There's Jackson. Fades. Left it short.
And we actually had some. Was that real fire or fake fire?
I look real. It felt real. I felt that heat.
We have enough heat in Dallas.
Yeah,
It's
right.
104 degrees outside.
Man.
And it was amazing when Nancy Lieberman hit the fire button. All of the kids were like, what?
Yeah. They love it.
They love it.
They love it. Here's Royce. Backs his way down, used the left hand and draws the foul.
But this, again, we talked about this earlier. Even though the Power were up at half, it never really felt like they were in control of the game. That the Killer3s they just were a little bit deeper. Maybe one more player that can get his shot. But we'll see. It's a long way to go.
He missed the free throw, followed by Jackson. No. Green comes out with it. Powell saves it to Nitty.
Good hustle by Powell. See, when post-game review, you'll talk about threes that they made or drives to the basket, but as a coach, those are little plays that you put on the video section. Extra effort plays like that from Powell.
Fading away is Dante Green. No good. Jackson snares the board. Stolen by Nitty. Working on Bullet. Too strong. White, good ball fake and lays it in.
And really good body control. Bullet did a nice job of getting the ball into him. Whitehead, good position. Excellent pass by Bullet.
5-point lead now for the Killer3s. Green for three. That's short. Jackson with the board.
Jackson, remember he made that three early in the game, and now he doesn't even want to look at the three-point line.
Here's White. With one, you got to get it up.
Royce White has done a really nice job of making a power move and then gathering himself. 2-foot jump stop. Really solid fundamental footwork in the post.
Here's CJ. Good ball fade. Got Jackson in the air.
But this is that push that the Killer3s are make right now. You bring CJ off the bench, crafty move. He's made that move a million times in his career. That shot fake.
Missed that free throw. We've been 1 for 2. White with 3. With 2. Shot blocked.
Good call. Shot clock violation. And see, a guy like C.J. Watson, he scored double figures last week for the first time this season. He's already in double figures. Being consistent. Being a player that your coach can count on every week, that's very important. So we'll see, he's in double figures. He has 10 points. Let's see if he can score 6 or 8 more points before the end of this game.
Good jump hook by Dante Green. And the Killer3s efficient so far here in the second half. They got a 7-point lead.
Yeah, but Dante Green, Joe Alexander down in the post. It's like, welcome to my house.
We're in Dallas. Big 3 ball out here in the Big D. Inside the American Airlines Center. 37 to 30s are scored. Listen, each week, you, the fans, you can help select the Microsoft Big 3 Player of the Week. All you gotta do, go online, big3.com or Big 3 social media accounts to vote, and we will reveal the results from week 4 next Saturday. Will it be, let's say, Dante Green? Dante Green's got 12 points right now, Abe.
Yeah, he's really heating up. It's 99 degrees outside, but number 20 is heating up here inside. Doing it all for the Killer3s. Inside, outside. Now he's look like he's getting a break, a breather, but because they can afford to give him a break,
just a point off of his average. He generally averages 17 points a game. Just a point off of that, and almost a double-double here tonight as his Killer3s with a 7-point lead. And you can see Killer3s is starting to round in shape here now. I mean, look, they took a couple of L's the first couple of weeks of the season, but now that they've gotten everyone back, gotten the rhythm, have certainly played well. Not only got the first victory last week, but playing well here.
Yeah, Coach Oakley has a nice luxury of rotating with Powell and Green in and out, keep them fresh, or playing them together.
They just scored. It was a timeout after the score. All these people here, we
Should have been Powerball. The reason we went to media was due to the 37-point media. We're going to give the ball to the wrong team. It's going to be Powerball up top.
So they wanted to make sure the right team had the basketball. It should be Power basketball.
Yeah, so Power will take it out up top. Catino Mobley, he was screaming it the whole time.
Yeah, he was screaming like, hey, listen. Here's Alexander driving on Mo Charlo. Throws it away. C.J. Watson missed it, though. Tipped out. Watson got it back. Here's Green for three. In rhythm.
But you can see C.J. Watson and Darnell Jackson started at the same time around the free throw line or the top of the key area, but C.J.'s speed and his acceleration was able to secure that loose ball, which resulted in a three-point shot.
Call it a two, so it's 39-30. Here's Byers, flips it up, no. Charlo flips it in. 11-point lead for the Killer3s.
We've had so many potential threes tonight that ended up being twos because guys have their foot on the line, man. That used to drive Coach Don Nelson, who I played for here in this building, crazy are those long twos. Just like the Kevin Durant, remember?
Yeah, you're right.
Game 7?
Yes, yep.
They were an inch away from potentially being in the finals.
Here's the thing, too, when you look at this game, 11-point lead for the Killer3. I mean, it is totally changed from the first half where Power, as you talked about, Power just going inside, pounding them. The second half, it's just been all Killer3s.
And here's that replay of the three, and his right toe was on the line.
Hey, watch him grab his feet on the ground. Try to step over and grab his feet. Play? Yeah.
So here's Royce White to the line. Shooting 1 for 2.
One.
Power's going to have to get some stops here. You know, they're going to have to string together like, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5 stops to have a chance to win this game.
C.J. Watson turns the corner. Open is Powell from the baseline. Got it.
And see, we need to clip that video for kids all around the country what C.J. Watson just did. He came off that pick and roll. He didn't try to throw a hook pass. He stopped, pivot, made the appropriate pass with his offhand, on time, on target. It's not going to get as many replays in terms of highlights, but that was a solid basketball, fundamentally sound play.
I'll tell you what, let's take a look at it, Coach.
I get so excited about this. Here he comes off the play. He drew 2 defenders, and he just made the right play with his left hand. This makes coaches' plays work so much more efficiently. Look at it. Nice left-handed pass. Powell didn't pump fake or fake himself covered. He shot the ball. Passer makes the shooter. That's just really good teamwork. And that type of basketball fuels a team just as much as a slam dunk.
C.J. Watson already in double figures. And his team is now up 11. 7 points away from victory. This is a Killer3s squad that, of course, played for the championship last 2019. The officials, meanwhile, during this break in the action, are taking another look at that Dante Green 3.
Oh, no, it was close. From that angle, looked like his toe was on the line.
That angle looks good.
Oh, that angle, that looks a little bit different.
Yeah, that angle, it looks good.
Looked like we could have gotten a...
So now they're going to give him 3. So that will make it 44-32 now.
That's what we love about replay. All the different angles. You can have 3 angles that maybe the foot toe look like it's on the line, and then you have that one angle where you can basically drive your expensive cell phone through it. Changes the whole dynamic.
What do you think Nathan Lieberman's telling Power right about now?
Stops. Get to the basket. Offensive rebound. No second shots for Killer3s. She's probably telling Bullet to be a little bit more aggressive to score.
Here's Royce White. Talked about that, getting Nick Grant to go to the basket.
That was basically directions from the general of the Power, Nancy Lieberman.
So 1 for 2 for White. He's had some issues at the line today.
Yeah, had to bank one in before he joined the last try previous time.
Here's Dante Green working on Bullet at the side. And missed it. Bullet, no. Jackson to follow, yes.
Now, if you're the Killer3s, you know, this possession, you got to run one of your favorite little sets right here, or plays, which is C.J. Watson setting the screen for Green, trying to get Bullet to switch on him, which they did that time.
So Oakley yell at Dante Green, they don't bail him out. He didn't want that 3. Here's Bullet, reach in by Watson. Now here's the good thing for Power. He's going to the line, and they're in the bonus. So if you can knock it down, you can keep the basketball. Oh, Charles Oakley wants to bring the fire. That's a good challenge.
Very good challenge.
It's time for the Taco Bell Bring the Fire. So Dusan Bullet, he's got 10 seconds to try to score on C.J. Watson.
So here you got a guy in C.J. Watson who spent 10 years in the NBA against Bullet, who's been regarded one of the best 3-on-3 players in the world.
He lays it in, and he'll keep the basketball because they're in the bonus.
Katino Mobley was saying, awesome challenge. We accept the challenge.
Yeah. So the lead is 8. Opportunity to cut it down even more. And count the basket in 1.
See, in this situation, if you're the Killer3s, Jackson is basically around the free throw line.
Hey, where's the foul?
It would behoove Green to get down and help Power in this situation.
Good thing is they keep the basketball.
Yes.
So they can just keep pouring on points because they're in the bonus.
And there's no need for a bailout shot or a bad shot from Power, especially because the Killer3s are in the bonus. Defensively, they're in the penalty.
White, the driving in.
Wow.
Too strong. Dante Green puts it back up and in. Here's Bullet. comes off. Jackson blocked.
Yeah, nice drive by White. Offensive rebound by Green. He didn't touch the basket.
Here's Powell, open shot. It's good. Hey, the Killer3s are 2 points away from victory.
And Oakley is screaming, no foul.
No foul. White spinning, blocked by Powell.
That was ball. You heard it. It was ball. You heard
Love
that.
Charles Oakley. What did I say? Just put your hands up. No foul.
Hey, watch that elbow. If you got caught, you gonna call that elbow first. He moved him out the way with that elbow.
Oak every week has the fresh tennis shoe game.
Yes, he
I
does.
think he knows somebody. You know, maybe Michael Jordan.
Something. He must know somebody at Nike. 7-point lead. Here's White again. Lost it. Dante Green wins the game. Second straight week, the Killer3s have come up with a victory. And they're now even at 2-2 in power with the same record.
And give Charles Oakley credit because he challenged Powell on the previous possession with his defense, and Powell did a really nice job of standing up. White that time, good strip, or he lost the ball, and Green with the smart play to put it back in the basket. Nice defense by Powell.
I tell you what, the Killer3s, I think they've gotten it, their momentum now. Second straight week, they've got a victory. Second straight week, it was Dante Green who led the way. He's with our John Sally.
All right, so you're sitting here with these twins.
My guys.
You did great today.
Hey, man, just trying to get wins, man. We started off rocky, like I said last week, so, you know, just trying to keep it going and keep these wins going and you know, try to make it to the playoffs.
I heard that Charles Oakley threatened you in the locker room that if you didn't show up today, you were going to have to meet with him.
Hey, if we don't show up any day, we got to meet Charles Oakley in the locker room. So, you know, you don't want to have him sitting there yelling at you after the game and disappointed and upset. You know, everybody knows how Oak is when they upset. So just trying to come out here and play hard, man, play together and get some wins, man.
Great win. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, Dante Green and the Killer3s. 2 straight weeks, 2 victories, and 2 game winners for Dante Green. We got another one.